Good morning, everyone. Lesley Myrick here, interior designer and business coach with the Profit Insiders Academy. It is Tuesday, and we've got the fabulous Amelia from Serene Marketing today. Welcome, Amelia.
Hi, Leslie. How are you?
I'm good. And you do sort of look like a burglar since you said
Yes.
that, but I want to let people know. I mean, I think it's stylish. I think you're
Thank you.
leaning Wes Anderson. But
He is not working in the house, so
yeah,
Amelia is
Amelia has
bundled.
no heat. So
Yes.
she is a trooper showing up and being here with us today. And I'm very grateful for that. So that actually kind of plays really well into our theme because we are talking today about authentic marketing for interior designers and really showing up as you are. So bravo, walking the talk, my friend.
Yes.
So let's
Yes,
talk
thank
about
you.
that. The official title is Authentic Marketing for Interior Designers in 2026, Why Your Voice Matters. And I love that. So why does your voice matter? What's the shift in social media this year, Amelia?
Yeah, I mean, even over the last 2 weeks, there have been just some recent shifts. Number one, reach and views are down across the platform. And normally what that means is that there is a switch up in what people are looking for, what the algorithm is looking for.
Okay.
Not that I promote always chasing the algorithm, but I think it shows that we need to, before everything was about how can we get more reach? How can we get more views? That was like, it's those vanity metrics. How can we get more followers? But does that really translate to more conversions for your business? I doubt that having 1,000 more followers than you had last week is really turning into even 500 more conversions. It's just not. So what
we wish it did.
Yeah, we wish, but it doesn't work that way. So we are encouraging interior designers this year, instead of focusing on those vanity things, to really focus on connection and really getting intimate. And that starts with being authentic. A lot of what you do is about your personality, how well you work with your client. If it's a personality match, that does matter in your business. So being more authentic online, while you may not go viral for that, right? You are more likely to hit that target audience of yours that really connects with you. So we are just saying connection over reach this year is what we're prioritizing.
Talk a little bit more about being authentic, because I feel like authentic is such a buzzword, and so like, oh, at this point, like everyone's like, you have to be authentic, and you do.
Yes.
But for an interior designer who also wants to have a professional presence and showcase themselves as an expert in this industry, what does being authentic online look like?
I would say it's leading with your personality a little bit more. Don't be shy to share those things and personality as it applies to your brand. I know for designers, a lot of the time, people will say, don't make work your life or whatever. Like, don't, have a separate life than your work. But when you are a creative, a lot of the time your work is truly your passion, and it is who you are, right? Like if you can tell an interior designer, they're stylish, their home is a certain way, they have an artsy approach to things, or a creative mindset. So it's really leading with your personality and not being shy to really show that. And that just means, if you are going on a sourcing trip and you're seeing, materials that really speak to you, don't be shy to share those things that feel more intimate to you or true to you, because really they're likely true to your brand as well, and how you approach your creative, side and your creative projects with your clients. And we're also saying, like, shift from doing everything, trying to be everything online, to shifting to what you really love and what you truly enjoy. Put out who you are, and hopefully you attract that back, is kind of what the message is here. And founder-led storytelling is becoming more and more important. So leading with that personality. If you are using we right now in your captions, but you're a studio of 1 to 2 people, maybe shift back to that I first person approach to founder-led storytelling. If you are leading with founder-led storytelling, you're likely going to automatically be authentic, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I like that. It's like, I think for a long time, people have felt this need to be a we and look more legit or established or credible or something. But you're saying people want the I. They're hiring you. They want to know that they want to get to know you online, and then they want you to be the one working with them on their project.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. Over the last several years, we've seen people, smaller studios, even my company, we leaned into the we statement, right? And a lot of designers did too, because they wanted to appear bigger. However, does appearing bigger mean better clients? Did it really matter? What we're seeing is that people are craving human connection again. They are craving knowing what your personality is. They're craving those moments. So think about how you're presenting yourself and how you're telling your story. That we, or that, studio approach, may be taking away from the feel of the authenticity of your brand. Because with a lot of designers too, you are your brand, like I mentioned.
Yes.
So yeah.
I like that approach for authenticity of it being founder-led storytelling, you just showing up and being enthusiastic about what you're already enthusiastic about, but sharing it. I think there's this misconception that authenticity online means like showing up without makeup. Like,
Yeah,
oh,
no.
yes, sure, do that if you want. But if that's not authentic to you, don't do it. Like, there's more than one way to be authentic in your social media, in your online presence. And I love this, Amelia, of just like sharing what you're interested in, excited about, working on, and not just the finished, polished projects. And here's
Yes.
our process from start. And those are important things too. But storytelling, and I know we've heard that sort of as a buzzword for many years now, this idea of telling your story, but it's really crucial today. People want that connection. We are so bombarded by polished, picture perfect social media and AI slop and all sorts of things. And we're like, oh, look, a real person sharing something they're excited about. And I like that thing too.
Yeah.
You want to be a great designer for me.
Yeah, and it leads to being relatable too. Like we have some clients who, they are in their, midlife, and they transition careers and became an interior designer, and they didn't fully want to lean into that past career story because they were like, maybe that dilutes how experienced I come across as an interior designer. However, when we started to inject that story more, where they used to be a consultant or they used to be this, and then they align. They're very process driven in their interior design process. So therefore they're having great experiences with their clients, and their clients relate to that. Who hasn't wanted to have a pivot at some point in their life, in their career? And just because you pivoted 5 years ago doesn't mean that you're less qualified than somebody who's maybe been in the industry a little bit longer. Actually, we find with our people that came from professional services background, their processes are more buttoned up. Their processes are more tight. They deliver a more seamless experience. So don't be scared to kind of show, your full story. It doesn't always have to be, like you said, that polished photo. And you mentioned AI. We do think that there's, a level of play that AI does have in the world of marketing. Obviously, yeah, it's a great tool. However, I did come prepared with some prompts if we wanted to use AI to kind of resist sameness, and make sure that we're being a little bit, I guess, obviously a little bit personalized. We're talking about personality and being authentic. So if you're interested in those, let me hold on one second. I've got my list here. So here's some prompts that will help AI understand your studio, your clients, and your priorities. And then it will assist you in efficiently, like it won't flatten your creativity. It will assist you in efficiently being a little bit more authentic. So they're simple prompts, but if you want to use them for kind of your voice or your connection. So content support prompts. If you've had a brainstorm session with AI, even if you're brainstorming, and then you want about your brand, who you are, all of those things, and you'd like to turn it into content pillars, really simple. Say, I like this brain dump that we just had. We achieved blah, 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 blah. How do we turn this into content pillars that I can translate to social while I'm still being authentic and personality driven? So literally just asking, if you're having a brain dump where you're really sorting out any brand issues, or, if you're making a transition with your branding or whatever it is, you can ask AI to turn that into content pillars, because that is an authentic dump right there, where you're working through a brainstorm, if that makes sense. Like if you're brainstorming your brand. And then you can also have it, if you want to remain authentic and really show the ins and outs of the interior design world, you can give AI, the project that you're working on, what all stages of that project looked like from before to, to design presentation to middle of the project in progress to after, and ask AI to build a content plan around the whole project, rather than just, because a lot of people just look at the final photos.
Yep.
No, tell AI, we ran into issue this in the middle of the project. Issue number 2 was this, that really major. It caused a construction delay or something, because reality is that happens. Give the AI that whole story and then ask it to build a content plan around it. And what you're doing is you're building up that story without leaving out the parts that are maybe a little bit messy, because that's the reality, and that's the beauty of having an interior designer, is that those messy parts hopefully are getting sorted, and fixed by your interior designer, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry, I'm rambling now, but
no, I think that makes perfect sense, is that we see this final photo, and yes, you want to focus on the transformation you can bring to your clients, but it looks so easy. Like, people look at that, they go on Pinterest, they go to your portfolio. It's like, I could do that. But when you are authentically sharing what actually happened and how you handled it and the outcome you got, people go, yeah, I like her. Like, she knows how to make this happen. And because we all know things happen. I had a story once that I shared that got so much traction about how we had one cabinet for a client that required, it just kept coming in damaged. There was issue after issue. It took 3 replacements and 40 hours of my assistant's time to resolve it. And these were things like, this happens. This is not unexpected. And I think showing that authentic side of saying, this happens and we handled it and it was all beautiful in the end, and that's why you hire us. Like, there you go. That's how you can see your authentic story and package it for social media in a way that people go, oh, wow, I had no idea. Or, oh my gosh, that's amazing that she could do all that. Like, I want to reach out to her. This is how people connect, not just look at the pretty room. When
exactly. And that's the thing that we hear all the time from our clients, is we feel like people do not understand the true value of an interior designer. They think the value of an interior designer is just in that final photo. And we want to show them that the value is also in the process, and having that person in your corner, or, who's mitigating issues before they arise, or, or they're making the 3,000 decisions on the hardware, the this, the that you're selecting. And part of getting that point across is in telling that true project story, but without all the work of having to map it out yourself. You map out the project in AI, tell it to lead with founder-led approach when it's telling the story, and ask it for a content plan around, how do I present this on social by showcasing my value, but not shying away from those messy moments, because that is the true value too. If you're working full service for a client, is in taking that process off them. You're taking the stress away from them. So it is about more than that final photo, but telling that story falls into being willing to be authentic in that side of the business, rather than just focusing on final photo. So, and that's where people connect, like you said, because they can connect too. They'll be like, oh yeah, I would have ran into that issue definitely if I had DIY'd, and I wouldn't have known how to solve it, So
I love that you were talking, Amelia, about AI, because I think there's a misconception that using AI will make you inauthentic, or it's not your personality. And I 100% believe that is not true. And AI can be such an incredible tool for distilling information, pulling out thoughts, finding common threads between things. And it can be such a valuable, it's almost like having like a digital business coach or consultant that can see things that you can't. And, people, I know there's going to be resistance going like, well, it's not me if it's not me writing, and if it's AI. But I will tell you, until AI can get a painter to show up on time, you do not have anything to worry about. And it is only a tool that will support you. AI is not coming to take your job, or, I don't know, dumb you down or turn you into something you're not. It's only there to, it's my robot boyfriend. That's what I call ChatGPT.
Yeah.
He's so helpful. I
Yeah.
give some ideas and he gives feedback, and it's like collaborating with contractors or
Yes.
makers, where you're like, here's kind of what I'm thinking. What do you think? Let's work together. Boom.
Yeah.
That's
And
how
you can coach, and you can coach your AI boyfriend.
Yes.
And they listen. So
The more you teach it,
yeah.
the more authentic, the more it's going to understand your brand, your voice, your stories, your personality, and it only makes it easier and better
Yes.
at helping you with communication.
Yeah. And we tell people, don't just take the output and copy and paste it. That's not what we're
Yeah.
suggesting. We're suggesting get that. A lot of people don't know, especially when they're not working with a marketing company. They don't know how to tell that full story. So that's why you'll see just a lot of final photos or things like that in somebody's marketing who doesn't work with a marketing company. Now, if you don't have that marketing company, this is a great tool because you can still get that story out there about the project from the authentic side, the value-driven side, but you're just utilizing AI to do some of that heavy lifting. So, yeah, and there's tons more prompts, but I won't go into it. It's really just nurturing it to, give AI the story, and then have it nurture what that looks like to be able to tell the authentic side while still coming across professional but founder-led, so with just a different tone.
Yeah, authentic doesn't mean coming in as a hot mess.
No,
social at all.
No, it just means telling. Yeah, you have to tell the true value, really getting into the true value of what you do, and then the true value of who you are. So showing your personality a little bit. If you're traveling and you see something that catches your eye, share that. Share those things. It speaks to your design eye. It just speaks to your personality. So. Yeah, I kind of went all over the map today, but
it all comes down to this idea of authentic marketing, and it is your voice that matters, your perspective, your point of view, what interests you, what excites you is probably what also interests and excites your ideal client. They're not designers, but they're probably drawn to the same things you are, or into the same hobbies, activities, aesthetic styles, whatever it might be. The more you can share, the more people can see the whole person, the whole founder, the more likely you are to connect with your ideal clients online.
Yes. Yeah. And I tell you, sorry, I know we're running low on time probably, but think of your favorite large designers. Like maybe it's Amber Lewis, Amber Interiors. Maybe it's Kelly Wersler. Their personality, don't you? I mean, it feels like when you go on their feeds, it feels like it is them sharing. It doesn't feel like they have a social team backing them. Now, they likely do, obviously, because of the capacity of the marketing that they have going on. But when you go to some of the largest designers' pages and you look at their marketing, I guarantee you it is founder-led, and it is personality-driven, and it is authentic. Their personality, their likes and dislikes. Amber Lewis is a great example. She's sharing all the time. Yeah. She has, I think, an autoimmune disease, I'm pretty sure, and she's sharing about that. And that's her. She feels comfortable to do that. But look at how large her company is, and she's not shying away from being authentic. So yeah.
I love it. Yeah. Authentic does not mean unprofessional. It means showcasing more of who you are as a whole person, and how that relates to your design business.
Yeah. And allowing the connection points to happen. If you're not authentic, you might have a hard time connecting, past those final photos.
Yep. I agree. Final photos are great, but they are just a small portion of who you are and what you can do as a designer.
Yes. True that.
Awesome. Amelia, thank you so much. This was really exciting and lots of good takeaways. I love that you shared an actual prompt you can put into ChatGPT, and just know that you sharing more of you is what's going to grow your business this year.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being here, Amelia.
Thanks,
Stay warm.
Yeah, thank you.
See you next month.